So, good morning, students. Myself Chaitra HK, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. So, today we are going to start with the uh, data warehousing and modeling from Module 1. Okay. So, here, Module 1, the main objective of this is define multidimensional data models. So, course outcomes. Student will be able to, or student should be able to understand the basic concepts of data mining and data warehousing. So the table of content. In today's class, you are going to study the measures, their categorization, computations, typical OLAP operations, OLAP system versus statistical databases, and a StarNet query model for querying multidimensional databases. So measures, their categorization and computations. Multidimensional, when you consider multidimensional point of view, the data cube space can be defined by set of dimension values, value pairs. So for example, if you take time, okay, you have the day, month, year, like this, right? And if you say location, you have Vancouver. And if you have item, you have computer. Okay, so a data cube measure is a numeric function that can be evaluated at each point in the data cube space. A measure value is computed for a given point of aggregating the data corresponding to the respective dimension value pairs, defining the given point. So measures can be organized into three categories. One is distributive, algebraic, holistic, which is based on the kind of aggregate function used. So we'll start with the distributive. So distributive, here an aggregate function is distributive if it can be computed in a distributed manner, such as suppose the data are partitioned into n sets. We apply the function to each partition resulting in n aggregate values. If the result derived by applying the function to the n aggregate value is the same as that derived by applying the function to the entire data set without partitioning. So the function can be computed in a distributed manner. For example, students, you consider sum. Some function can be computed for a data cube by first partitioning the cube into sub or set of subcubes, computing the sum for each of the subcubes and then summing up the counts which are obtained for each of the subcube. Hence, sum is a distributive aggregative function. Fine. So what they say is when you have the computation done for a data cube, okay, first you need to partition the cube into set of subcubes. Next, you need to compute the sum for each of the subcubes. Then you need to sum up the counts obtained by or for each of the subcubes. Hence, sum is a distributive aggregative function. For the same reason, count, min, and max functions are distributive aggregative functions. A measure is distributive if it is obtained by applying distributive aggregative function. So, distributive measures can be computed efficiently because of the way the computation can be partitioned. Algebraic. An aggregate function is algebraic if it can be computed by an algebraic function with m arguments, where we have m is a bounded positive integer, each of which is obtained by applying a distributive aggregative function. For example, you have average, which can be computed by sum by count, where both sum and count are the distributive aggregative functions. Similarly, it can be shown that you have min n and max n, where you have to find n minimum and n maximum values respectively for a given set. And then we have the standard deviation function, which is an algebraic aggregate function, which a measure is algebraic. When you can say a measure is algebraic, a fact is algebraic if it is obtained by applying an algebraic aggregate function. Holistic approach. Next you have is holistic operation. So here an aggregation function is holistic if there is no constant bound on the storage size which is needed to describe a sub-aggregate. That is, there does not exist an algebraic function with m arguments where m is a constant that categorizes the computation. Common examples of holistic function include median, mode, rank. So a measure is holistic if it is obtained by applying a holistic aggregate function. Typical OLAP operations. In the multidimensional model, data are organized into multiple dimensions. Each dimension contains multiple levels of abstraction defined by concept hierarchies. This organization provides users with flexibility to view the data from different perspectives. So OLAP operations are roll up, drill down, slice and dice. You can see here roll up operation. So here it performs the aggregation on the data cube either by climbing up the concept hierarchy for a dimension or by dimension reduction. In the class I will explain in detail. Okay, you'll be learning in detail. So you can see in the diagram, you have roll up operation, you have slice and dice. So this is roll up operation, this is drill down operation, pivot, slice and dice operation. Okay, so each one of them, drill down, which is the reverse of roll up operation. It navigates from less detailed data to more detailed data. Drill down can be realized by either stepping down a concept hierarchy for a dimension or introducing additional dimensions. Slice and dice. Slice operation performs a selection on one dimension of the given cube, resulting in a subcube. Here, slice operation where the sales data are selected from the central cube for dimension time using the criteria time equal to q1. Next, pivot. The other name is for pivot is rotate. You are rotating. So pivot is also called as rotate. Which is a visualization operation that rotates the data axis in a view to provide an alternative data presentation. Fine. So that you have seen in the diagram. In detail in class we'll look into these operations. So other OLAP operations are drill across and drill through. So drill across executes queries involving more than one fact table. Drill through operations uses relational SQL facilities to drill through the bottom level of the data cube down to its backend relational tables. So OLAP system versus statistical databases. So we have a statistical databases where these database system that is designed to support statistical applications. The similarities between the two types of systems are rarely discussed, mainly due to the differences in terminologies and application domains. OLAP and SDB. SDB is statistical database system. However, will have and distinguishing differences. You have the SDBs which tend to focus on socio-economic applications. OLAP, which is targeted for business applications. Privacy issues regarding concept hierarchies are major concern for statistical databases. For example, given a summarized socio-economic data, it is controversial to allow users to view the corresponding low-level data. Finally, you'll have, unlike SDBs, you have OLAP systems which are designed for efficiently handling the huge amount of data. Next, we have this. Next topic is StarNet query model for querying multidimensional databases. So, querying of multidimensional databases can be based on StarNet model, which consists of radial lines, which is emanating from a central point. Where, see here in the diagram, you can see four lines are emanating from the central point. Okay, so here we have StarNet model, which consists of radial lines emanating from a central point where each line represents the concept hierarchy for a dimension. Each abstraction level in the hierarchy is called a footprint. So these represents the granularities which are available for use by OLAP operations such as drill down and roll up operations. StarNet query model for the all electronics data warehouse, which I have shown in the figure. So here, StarNet consists of four radial lines, which represents the concept hierarchies for a dimension, location, customer, item, time, respectively. So each line consists of footprints, representing the abstraction levels of the dimension. For example, timeline has footprints, four footprints. What are those four footprints? Day, month, quarter, and year. So a concept hierarchy may involve a single attribute, example, date for the time hierarchy, or several attributes concept hierarchy for location, which involves the attribute street, city, province, state, and country. In order to examine the item sales at all electronics, users can roll up along with the time dimension from month to quarter or so drill down along the location dimension from country to city. Concept hierarchies can be used to generalize data by replacing low level values by higher level abstractions. Like day will be replaced with year, or to specialize the data, replacing the higher level abstraction with lower level values. So this is what your StarNet query model is. See here, there are four dimensions, four radial lines, and then we have the concept hierarchies. Then this concept, whatever we have in the concept hierarchies, these are the footprints. Fine. So in today's class, we have done with measures, categorizing the computations, typical OLAP operations, OLAP system versus statistical databases, and a StarNet query model. So these are the few model session wise questions. They can ask about measures, they can ask about OLAP operations for 8 marks, and then differentiate between OLAP system and statistical system databases, and then they can ask you StarNet query model to explain. So these are the references. Thank you students. Hope you'll enjoy studying this subject.